taking you to one of the most important places in Washington for me while I was the chief, Arlington National Cemetery. I wish the day were better, but it's kind of a soldier's day. Soldiers would recognize a day like this, since it seems we find ourselves on snowy days and rainy days and muddy days. You name it, we're doing it. And we don't stop just because the sun isn't out. Donald McIntosh, Lieutenant, U.S. Cavalry, killed at the Battle of the Little Bighorn, Montana. You can't look at that grave, you can't touch this gravestone and not think about the sacrifice of American soldiers. I don't care how you feel about it politically or anything. The point is, this young man was willing to do what he did for his country because the citizens said, this is what we want you to do. And he did it loyally and selflessly. What else does it tell us? James Reagan, Colonel, 9th United States Infantry, the Manchus. Born December 1844, died 1906 at Manila in the Philippine Islands. So here you have killed in action in Montana with Custer, died in the Philippine Islands. It goes on and on and on. Across the street, unknown from the American Civil War. Over 250,000 people buried here. What it means to me is that I was just a part of a long line of people who served their country. And it's a source of strength as well as a source of inspiration. It's my classmate, Paul David Berthium, Massachusetts, Captain MacV, died 23 December 1965. His name is on the wall, as is Jack Joyce and others. It's sort of meaningful to me to know where he is and to be able to tell my grandson about him, a friend of mine and somebody who went to Norwich with me for 4 years. Coming here is good for the soul, good for the spirit. Makes you remember that you're alive, that you have something to give to other soldiers and other people. It's worth remembering all of this. Paul Berthium, Jack Joyce, Bob Serio, Chuck Titus, Charlie Sauer, Norwich men, West Point men, OCS guys, Clyde Edelman, Jim Polk, 3rd Cavalry Commander during World War II. I was the senior officer present for the funeral of Edelman and General Polk. When we buried General Polk, it was a day like this. The cannon were up here on the high ground. You get a salute when you leave the caisson, and the soldiers were here along with the horses and the caisson. Coffin is carried here, then you're buried. Before all of that happens, there's a salute. Depending on how many stars you have, you get the proper salute. He was a cavalryman. The horses were pawing the ground, stomping their feet, snorting. The artillery pieces fired their salute, and the smoke rolled over this point and covered all of us and the horses. And the horses, it was as if they knew that a cavalryman who had been a horse cavalryman as well as a World War II cavalryman was being buried, and they acted accordingly. These are just soldier memories. I'm not sure they mean anything to anybody other than the soldier. But it's important to know that the country honors soldiers the way that it does. Soldiers in the largest sense of the word, sailors, airmen, and Marines, and former presidents. This is a special place, very special.